يعني already studied the sine and the cosine rules to find the distance between 3 points. يعني الساين رولز كانت الهدف منها ان 3 points position of 3 points whatever كانت 3 points دي A B and C، وكان كل التريجونومتري كان بيبحث في إيجاد الديستانس والانجلز between these 3 points. اوكي خدنا منها في right angle triangle لما خدنا الانجلز بتاعت الفانكشنز او الريشيوز اوف ذا acute angle اللي هو سو كاتوا، اللي هو الساين كان opposite او ساين ثيتا، لو كان دي ثيتا ساين ثيتا كان equal opposite over hypotenuse، كان الكوزاين equals adjacent over hypotenuse، كان التان كان equal opposite over adjacent أو كان represent the slope of the straight line. كمان خدنا الأوبليك تراينجل ازاي نحدد فيه الساين رول والكوزاين رول، و how can we find the missing sides or angles by using sine and cosine rule. We can use the sine rule if we have two angles and one side or two sides with non-included angle, but we used the cosine rule when we have two sides and the included angle and the angle between them, for example this side and this side and the angle between them, or if we have the three sides. And we already studied the two rules and we find some missing and we took some exercise about them. Okay, شوف some applications on the sine and cosine. The application is angles of elevation and depression. What the meaning of angle of elevation and depression؟ لو واحد واقف هنا an observer where he is looking أو is look at a point up, then the angle between the horizontal side and this object will be elevation because he will raise his face مش كده؟ And if he look at a point down, so this angle will be the angle of depression. Okay, so if a person is here and look at a point here, so this angle will be the angle of elevation. And if the person is here and is look at the point down, so this angle is the angle of depression. The measures are the same. The measures are the same because these two angles are alternate angles, but I'm talking about the name of the angle and the type of the angle according to the position of the observer. Okay, and 1 minute. This is the angle of elevation because this is the observer and is look at a point up, so this angle will be an angle of elevation. Okay, angle of elevation, angle between the line of sight, this is the horizontal, and when looking upward يبقى الانجل of depression هتبقى between the horizontal and the point if he look at the point down. Okay, يبقى the angle of elevation angle between the line of sight, this is the line of sight which is horizontal, when he looking upward لو بص downward كده يبقى البوينت الانجل دي اسمها angle of depression. Okay, this one angle of depression if he look downward between the horizontal line, the horizontal side. Okay, okay. As an example هتوقف بإيه؟ Angle, angle of elevation is the angle formed by the horizontal and align side to a point above. ولو كانت the depression تبقى to a point A below لو كانت تحت. Okay. Angle of depression. To know what the meaning of angle of depression and depression, as I told you, the angles are the same, but the names are different. عشان هنا he is looking at down أو look downward وده look upward, the same angle, but the angles different in names only. Okay, but they are the same because they are alternate angles. Okay. Oh, they are the same as I told you. Here, an observer is look at the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree. Okay, so this angle will be an angle of elevation, and this angle, this elevation angle, and this will be depression angle. Okay, and this is the horizontal side. And if a person is here and he's looking downward on this point, so this angle will be depression. And the same if any person or any object here, he's looking upward, so this is the angle is angle of elevation. The same, this angle and this angle are equal, and this angle and this angle are equal because they are alternate angle. Just to know the name and the types of the angles. Okay, because you will draw or the graph of the figure to solve the triangle. So you have to know what the meaning of the angle of elevation and the angle of depression. Okay. Angle 1 formed by بص فين هنا below يبقى الانجل دي اسمها depression. بص up يبقى الانجل اسمها ايه؟ angle of elevation. اوكي نفس البوينتس اهو. واحد واقف on a rock ولا on a hill، دي حاجه. واقف هنا he's look at an object up and an object down. The angle between the object up and the horizontal side, which is a line of the horizontal line, this angle is called an angle of elevation, and this is angle of depression. Okay. How can we solve some triangles? He can give you the same example by the meaning of elevation and depression angle. If he make this line, which is y, is a tower, and an observer is looking up at the top of the tower, and the angle is 70, and the distance between this point and the bottom of the tower is 70 or 67. For example, the same triangle. Easily you can solve this triangle. How can you find y? Huh? Who can find y? Who can find the length of this opposite? Huh?
Mister, do we use cosine?
Cosine. You have opposite and adjacent. Use cosine.
لا 10 قصدي.
Tan. So tan 70 equals y over 67. Then y equals 67 tan 70. The same if this is the tower and an observer is look at the top of the tower by angle of elevation 70 degrees, and if the distance between his point and the bottom of the tower is 67, how can he find the length or the height of this tower? By using the same rule as he found the side of the opposite of the right angle triangle. So if this is the height of the tower, so x will be 67 tan 70, and this result will find the length of the tower. Okay, do you understand? Again نكمل. Okay, You are given the side adjacent to angle A and opposite. To find tan 70, you will divide y over 76 because tan is opposite over adjacent. You have the relation between the opposite. You need the opposite and you have adjacent and for this angle. Then you will use the tan. Okay? Y equals 67 tan 70 as we found it before. Okay? And you will find the length. Suppose the plane is an altitude of 3,500 feet. This is an altitude of three. You have to know the graph, okay?
Yes.
نعم
لا بقول اوكي اوكي.
ماشي يا سيدي. Okay, this is the altitude of length 3500. Altitude. This is altitude. Altitude كويس. Okay, this is altitude. And you have an angle of elevation from the airport to the plane is 29. يعني this is the observer and this angle is 29. Okay, 29 this angle and this is the plane. For example اي حاجه ارسم اي plane كده عندها شغل الاطفال يعني كده. اوكي مش عارفين فين دماغي خليها كده. Okay, this angle is 29 degrees. What's the horizontal distance between the plane and the airport? Call this one. Okay, طيب انت عايز الديستنس دي ولا الديستنس دي؟ هو عايز the distance between the plane and the airport.
عاوز اللي
Suppose the plane at the altitude of this one angle from the airport. So the airport is this point. So you need this distance. Again, suppose the plane is at an altitude of 3,500 feet. An angle of elevation from the airport. Oh, from the airport here. From the airport. So the airport is here. So what is the horizontal distance? عايز horizontal distance دي لغاية مين؟ لغاية between the plane and the يعني بين البلين دي وبين الايربورت. How can you find this distance? You have the opposite and you need adjacent and you have sine, cosine, and tan. Which of these functions can you use to find the length of this horizontal? Sine or cosine or tan?
10.
Tan. Again. ممكن نرد على بعض كده كلنا لو سمحتوا. You have the height and you need the adjacent. So the point between this vertex and this vertex is the adjacent according to this angle, and you have the opposite. Then now the relation is between the opposite and the adjacent. So which of the functions will you use? ممكن الناس ترد sine or cosine or tan?
تاني
Tan.
Tan.
because you have opposite and you need the adjacent. So you can find this one by using tan 29 equals 3500 divided by x. Then x will be 1 times 3500 over tan 29. But if you need this distance, which is y, and you have opposite, and you need the hypotenuse for this angle, how can you, which of the functions will you use to find y? Sine or cosine or tan?
ساين رول
Sine rule because you have opposite and you need the hypotenuse. Then you will use cosine 29 equals 3500 divided by y, and y will be 3500 divided by cosine 29. So you can find this side or the side by using one of the three functions, sine, cosine, or tan. Do you understand?
بس انا عملتها بطريقة تانية.
Mm.
انا جبت الانجل التالتة ب 61
The same.
وعملت 3 500 10 61.
Okay. طب اوكي، يعني what's the
مم.
difference يعني؟ يعني نقول كده
ماشي.
هو جاب الانجل دي 61 but you need the angle, you can use the tan of this angle instead to find another one. You have this angle already, so tan this angle is 3500 over x, and you found this angle and you use the same ratio as x over this one, the same. Okay,
Okay.
the first one, this is the solution that we have solved now. ادي 3500 over 10 29. So the distance is 6,314 feet, this distance. And we increased one step to find the hypotenuse if you need it. But the example, he didn't ask about the hypotenuse. He asked about the horizontal distance, okay? The horizontal distance between the plane and the airport. Okay, have you got it? Do you have any problem?
Mr. طب he asked about the between the plane and the airport.
Yes,
What did we get X?
which this X?
Yes,
This is the
the X.
horizontal
Sorry.
distance between the plane and the airport. This is the airport. And the plane, he mean the point under the plane. Under the plane. Okay?
Okay. طب.
And he the point is point opposite the plane in the land يعني ولا in the, okay? Example. Another example. Draw a sketch to احنا لسه ما مسحناش كل ده. Okay, 1 minute. Draw a sketch to represent the given information. Let's see, represent the eyes. ممكن نشوف دي نرسمها احنا. And B represents the bottom of the opposite side of the مش عارف ايه ده. Cleavage. Let Y be a depth of the ايه ده. Cleavage يعني ايه دي؟ Cleavage. Okay. The tan angle to find the length. Okay. Do you understand this one? You have this angle and this is the alternate angle, and you can find Y by using opposite over adjacent by using this relation, which is tan 52. Okay. And we find the length or the depths of this one. Example 2. I'll find Y. Oh, define step 2. Didn't finish. Okay, find Z. What's Z? This is the figure. I don't know where is it. B. This is Y. Where is it? I don't know. Okay, let me see this example. This example is a good one. And okay, draw a sketch. Let P represent the pilot and let A and B represent the two airports. Let X be the distance between the two airports. تاني ادي البايلوت هنا عنده two airports تحت A and B. It's okay. And you need the distance between the two airports A and B. First, by using this angle, now we have two angles of depression. The small angle means the farthest or near the point دي ولا البوينت دي. The farthest point make a small angle, and the nearest point make a big angle. Do you understand? يعني when you look at 2 points down, the farthest one has a smallest angle, the nearest one has a greatest angle. يعني لو انت واقف فوق العماره كده فوق بيتك في البلكونه وبتلوك على بوينت بعيده هتبقى الانجل صغيره، لكن لو بتبص لواحده صغيره تحت البلكونه هتعمل دماغك كده خالص، هتبقى قريب منها مش كده ولا ايه؟ يعني لو بوينت بعيده تبقى الانجل وانت واقف كده هتلاقي تعمل لعينيك شويه، لكن لو الانجل قريبه هتضطر تحود عينيك اكتر، يبقى الانجل اوف الفيجن تبقى ايه لو البوينت قريبه. يعني لو البوينت هنا بص حته صغيره، لو البوينت هنا يبقى الانجل اوف depression will be greater. Okay, so the smaller angle is the angle of looking to the farthest point, when nearest point D is the a greatest angle. So we will use the distance between them. How can we find the distance between them? By find the greatest side and the smallest side, and we are going to subtract them. First, how can we find Z? This angle is 19. This tan 19 will be 12,000 over Z. Then Z will be 12,000 over tan 19. Can you find it please? And this
سلام
is
أنا مش فاهم صراحة.
again البوينت الانجل الصغيره دي هي الانجل بتاعت الفارزست بوينت، البعيد ولا القريبه؟
دي البعيدة.
احنا we use the 19 angle 19. So to find the distance between C and B, we use the tan 19. Tan 19 is opposite over adjacent, which is Z. So tan 19 is 12,000 over Z. يبقى Z equals 12,000 over tan 19. دي واضحة؟
19.
في مشكلة دلوقتي؟
لا تمام.
Okay, the other one for point A, this angle is the angle of depression equal the alternate angle, which is 78. To find Y, use tan 78. 78, tan 78 is 12,000 divided by Y. Then Y will be, شوف another color يعني. Okay, then Y will be 1 times 12,000 divided by 1078. Find this result, please. And find this result, please. And subtract them to find x, because z minus y equals x. And x is the distance between the two airports. Can you find this result, please? And this one? Find 12,000 divided by 1019 equals 34,650.5. Okay, feet. What was the other one? Over 1078.
2550.67.
Can?
2550.67.
Okay, can you check down another one? Check the answer, please. 2550.7. So the distance between them will be 234,650.5 minus 2550.7 equals, find the result. Did you find the result? Let me check here. Okay.
Mr. I checked the results.
ادي y وادي الانجل اهو 12 10 80 78 and 10 19 and find the two distances, and the difference between them will be this result. It's okay. A person is on the tower and he's looking downward to the car, and the angle of depression is 21. If the length of the tower is 70 meters, first, what's the distance between the observer and the car? Second, what is the distance between the car and the bottom of the tower? It's okay. This is a homework, and I'm waiting your solution, inshallah.